Welcome to our English class. I am Daisy Gobatino, your teacher for this school year 2020-2021. Are you excited for our first lesson? I know everybody is excited. Our first lesson for today is all about the different sources of information. Information plays a vital role in our daily communication. Whenever we talk to our friends, peers, and other people, we talk about information. The different sources of information we have: number one, news reports. These are packaged information on current events. This moves through many different media, like word of mouth, printing, postal systems, broadcasting, electronic communication. First example is from newspapers. These are sources of information. These are publications printed on newsprint, a thin, porous paper that can be easily folded and carried in a pocket or briefcase. Another example is from broadcasting media. It includes advertising. Global TV is an example of commercial television. The term broadcast media covers a wide range of different communication methods that includes television and radio. Next in our list is electronic communication. This can be defined as the communication which uses electronic media to transmit the information or message using computers, email, telephone, video calling, fax machine, and others. Let us watch a news report from CNN.
This public elementary school in Quezon City has one of the most number of students in Metro Manila. By now, at least 50 young students should be crammed into the small space. Instead, we are seeing an empty classroom, void of any activity. Schools remain closed until August 24th because of the COVID-19 scare. And even then, things are not going to be the same.
There will be no face-to-face classes and sessions until we are assured of the safety of our children and our teachers.
Authorities believe schooling can continue even from home. They are implementing distance or remote learning, a method that delivers lessons through various ways, including online, television, radio, and printed materials. Over 20 million students from kindergarten to high school nationwide have signed up for the new school year. Colleges and universities are also shifting to distance learning, affecting over 3 million students. The new system is drawing mixed reactions from students. Matututo naman po kami kung focus kami sa ginagawa namin. Mabuti po talaga na nandiyan po nakatulog sa teacher. Some youth groups are urging officials to defer the school opening, noting that thousands of students lack access to the internet. For some parents, distance learning seems impractical. They worry about having to spend more time and money on their children's education, especially if students need to go online regularly. In private schools, parents are demanding lower tuition fees since students will be studying from home. But the schools say some recurring costs cannot be waived, especially maintenance fees.
Yung laboratories, gymnasium, lahat po yan napati.
See, if you want to be updated on what is happening around, most especially this pandemic, just watch news reports or read newspapers. Our next source of information is from speeches. This source of information is the faculty or power of speaking. Oral communication, ability to express one's thoughts and emotions by speech, sounds, and gestures. Let's watch an example of a speech from me, Bodhisattva.
Guys, my name is Nick Vujicic. I was born in Australia in 1982, moved from Australia to California in the year 2006. And my life story, I'm just thankful that people have seen my life on some sort of level, whether it's just YouTube videos or seeing pictures of a vanilla sky smile. People always ask me, what happened to you and how did you overcome what you've been through? The title of the message that I've been given is Transforming the Walls into Doors. When I speak corporately, the line that I like to use is changing obstacles into opportunities. Now, I'm very well aware to share with you as well. I know that there are a billion people going hungry today. I know that this year a million people will commit suicide, one every 40 seconds. I know today there are 120 million slaves, and I've met sex slaves, and I've seen the top of the pyramid as far as business. I've met the billionaires, I've met bankers, and I've also met orphans. We're all looking for something. We're all looking for hope. Hope you can't just have just because you were born with hope. No, we're born with pain. We're born and live through difficulty. In our life, my parents always taught me that even though we don't know why I was born this way, that we have a choice. Either to be angry for what we don't have, or be thankful for what we do have. The power of that choice is the first thing that I had to overcome and decide for myself, especially in the early years of school. A lot of kids would come up to me and tease me.
We learned a lot of lessons from these speeches. I know you are enlightened by me. What is it? The third source of information is informative talks. These intends to provide information about a specific subject to an audience. The aim of an informative speech is to help your audience to understand and to remember the information you are presenting. Examples: college professor lecturing on a specific topic during a class. Another example is a guest speaker presenting information to a group of students about how to apply for college. And finally, a doctor talking to a group of people about ways to avoid COVID-19. Let us watch a sample video of informative talk.
We're at risk. All of us are at risk. I'm not talking about STDs, global warming, or terrorism. I'm talking about your life online. You're at risk of having your computer taken over so that perfect strangers can read your email, access your bank accounts, filter your credit card numbers, and even steal your identity. I've seen this over and over again at my summer job as a computer technician at a nationwide computer store. You wouldn't believe how many computers are compromised and infected. As college students, we're particularly vulnerable because we spend so much time online. According to David Tatter, manager of Wisconsin's Consumer Office of Privacy Protection, 32% of all identity theft claims are filed by people between the ages of 18 and 29 years old. That's the largest percentage of any age group. Today, I'd like to explain 3 additional steps that experts recommend for online security: using strong passwords, using secure connections, and double-checking links before clicking on them.
I believe you got an idea on how to secure yourself online from this informative. Our last source of information is panel discussion. This source of information has a specific format used in a meeting, conference, or convention. It is a live or virtual discussion about a specific topic amongst a selected group of panelists who share differing perspectives in front of a large audience. The panel is typically facilitated by a moderator who guides the panel and the audience through the event. The panel has typically 3 to 4 experts or practitioners in the field who shares facts, offers opinion, and responds to audience questions either through questions curated by the moderator or taken from the audience directly. Examples: top scientists gather together to discuss global warming. Another example is a local politicians hold an open discussion and invite the public to come with questions or concerns. Let's watch an example of a panel discussion.
Bullying situations are handled effectively if handled at all. We understand that learning how to respectfully deal with others is a major part of growing up. But if we don't get bullying under control, what is the future going to be like? So, how are adults part of the problem?
Well, I think mostly with adults, it's either one of two extremes. It's either they don't want to do anything about it because it's trying to make you stronger, or they're trying to take the whole situation in their hands and fix every problem with it. And when adults get into a lot of situations about bullying with kids, they usually end up making it worse for the victim.
A lot of adults are oblivious to the fact that bullying is even occurring. They just think it's the way of life. And I really honestly think that it's a very big problem. And if they don't get on it soon enough, we as adolescents would not be able to continue this way.
If adults or parents are part of the problem and they aren't willing to change, how hard is it for school officials to deal with the issue?
Well, I think you need the parents to back up the school officials. So if the school officials aren't there, then it's nearly impossible to stop bullying on their own. And this is a two-front war, and you can't just do it in the school environment.
I just want to say, I think it's a lot up to the victim, because I mean, he's got to really stand up for himself. It's kind of like what Zach said, low in self-esteem. And I really think the parents should help their kid by giving them encouragement. And I really think it's a lot up to the victim himself to make sure that, I mean, he shouldn't let this kid basically ruin his life. It should, he should stand up for himself, because I mean, that's what a lot of people say, stand up for yourself.
Is standing up for yourself also letting an adult know what's going on? Is that part of standing up for yourself?
If you respect yourself enough to realize that there is a problem, then you can take the action necessary to get it solved.
I think it does matter how you're solving the problem. But can you really teach yourself to stand up for yourself? You have to have some type of guidance.
So what effective methods do you think adults can use to help kids deal with bullying?
I hope that you learned something from their discussion. Sources of information. What are these for? If you want to know what is happening around, you can use these different sources of information. If you make your assignments and outputs, if you make a research paper wherein you cite your sources of information, in your daily exchange of ideas, in order to make your communication effective, you need these sources of information, such as news reports, speeches, informative talks, and panel discussion. I would like to thank our references for making this video possible. Thank you. You may now answer your module and see you in our next online class. God bless you all.